Good afternoon, my name is Armand Sery-Ble, and I am the president of Smyrna Africa and Zenaza Biomedical International. Last year, in August 2009, I sent a correspondence to the General Secretary of the United Nations, His Excellency Ban Ki-moon. This correspondence was also sent to Mr. Barack Obama, the President of the United States, as well as to the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, and the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. The correspondence was also sent to several stakeholders of peace in the world, namely the ambassadors of the United Nations Security Council and the African and European Union. The correspondence pertains to the situation in Cote-D'Ivoire, but it's also a set of recommendations to bring about peace in the world, because we believe that all coup-d'état are a criminal act of terrorism. And so, in light of our world campaign for the universalization of the norm of democracy, we believe that it's time for all the stakeholders to get involved in this process to change the paradigms of human behavior and international relations. The recommendations that I submitted to the Secretary General are still valid, although some of them were applied partially, but it is important that those resolution hearing, the recommendation hearing, be taken seriously if we are to build a safe world, safe Africa, safe world for everybody. If we have to preserve humanity, it's very important that this recommendation be taken seriously. So I'm going to read some aspect of this, some excerpt of this address to give you a sense of the depth of this address, this correspondence. And you'll also understand why things are not moving forward in Cote d'Ivoire and why they should take a different turn. The lives of millions of people are involved in the good and judicial application of these recommendations. This recommendation will save the lives of millions of people. And I hope that you take the time to listen to it carefully, and meditate, and truly see how you can individually participate in the implementation of these recommendations. Excellency, it's an honor for me to extend my sincere gratitude and compliment to you for the noble and admirable work accomplished by UNOC in my country, Cote d'Ivoire. I'm writing to urge the United Nations, the Security Council, and the leaders of the world to restore order in the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire. Without established order, there should be no democratic elections held in Cote d'Ivoire. Excellency, your latest UNOC report shows the true signs of progress in Cote d'Ivoire. But in actuality, this progress is comparable to the movement of a sinking ship that has run out of fuel in the middle of an ocean, trying to patch up the multiple holes of this huge ship, or waiting for it to reach the shore on its own will be a waste of time. This ship is Cote d'Ivoire, and it needs a huge, objective and realistic rescue mission. Now, the Ouagadougou's agreements have their merit. These agreements, initiated in good faith by Cote d'Ivoire's President Laurent Gbagbo, have enabled President Gbagbo to ease up the tension, to defuse the crisis, and to peacefully regain control of the country. Please note that President Gbagbo was democratically elected during the 2000 presidential elections after spending over 20 years in the opposition. President Gbagbo has never attempted to gain power by way of coup-d'état. President Gbagbo is therefore, according to Smyrna Africa, an honorable and exemplary political model in Africa. The philosophy behind the Ouagadougou's agreement proves clearly his political wisdom and grandeur d'esprit. Excellency, a political leader of that stature deserves the support and assistance of the world to impact history for the good of humanity. Although the initiatives that led to the Ouagadougou's agreement were commendable and greatly appreciated, one must admit that the mediation have now reached their limit, as they will never lead to the organization of transparent presidential elections in Cote d'Ivoire. It is time for the United Nations and the international community as a whole to capitalize on the momentum created through the Ouagadougou's agreement and to restore a placid democracy in Cote d'Ivoire. This will require a courageous and undoubtedly sincere leap beyond Ouagadougou's agreement, embracing and applying the true principles of democracy in Cote d'Ivoire. This bold advance will require that there should be no presidential elections in Cote d'Ivoire until Mr. Soro-Guillaume and his rebel government have stepped down and the members of the Force Nouvelle have surrendered to the International Criminal Court. Mr. Soro-Guillaume and his Force Nouvelle rebels are a group of terrorists and should be treated as such. Nowhere in the modern democratic world are murderers compensated for their action with high official positions. Cote d'Ivoire is a democratic country with a long history of peace and prosperity. Therefore, we intend to abide by all democratic norms in our country. In fact, if we fail to do so, what value will be bestowing onto our future generations that those who bypass peaceful means of negotiation while killing innocent victims gain access to the government of their country to plunder the economy of their country? If we remain passive, what guarantee do we have that these odious and murderous scenarios will never happen again? The fact that the rebels supervise the election does not guarantee anything. These corrupt are no different than the thief, criminals, and murderers who are held on trial by the judicial system in other modern democratic states. Why should Cote d'Ivoire now enjoy the same standard luxury? President Gbagbo did what he could, just as President Henri Konan Bédié did what he could when the same rebel came to spoil his presidency. But the rebels have not changed, and there are no indications that they will change anytime soon. There are no indications that they will lead the country to peace, because they are so comfortably holding the population hostage. I personally can no longer linger passively in face of this situation of injustice. This is why I'm asking for your help, Excellency, and that of the other world leaders to put an end to this entire situation once and for all.